Yo, what's good, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to another Tyler Perry Sistas review. If this is your first time coming to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning family member, then you already know what it is and what it always will be. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. Tell somebody to tell somebody if you choose to, but if not, just sit back, relax while we get into this messy thing. Now, y'all see this thumbnail, so y'all already know it's finna be one. Y'all already know I can already expect what's gonna be in the comment section, but I'm ready for it. Let's deal with this. Now, I was going to mention this when I did the overall review of the episode, but this particular moment right here has the people in a frenzy. Okay, has people in a frenzy. So I decided to make a special video about Fatima and Andy and their moment at the law firm.
Looking over all this paperwork for the players that I'm working with now. So much. I'm sorry, the players? I was only made aware that there was one athlete you were working with? Yeah, so about that, Miss Marie Willis's godson referred other players to me, so. Well, I guess that's good practice for in the future when you actually pass the bar. Yeah.
Let me go on record and say there is not a lawyer, real or fake, that would be jealous of their paralegal. There is not a lawyer who is actually practicing in the profession or a made-up character who would be jealous of their damn paralegal. And I see a lot of people are using that word jealousy. That word is becoming just as popular as the word delusional that a specific, fan base love to talk about when someone opposes their opinion or where they may stand, which is perfectly fine. But let's deal with the jealousy. I am on the coin of, as they say nowadays, is jealousy actually in the room with us? Because what in all the hell does Andy have to be jealous of Fatima for? I need to know that. She has more money than Fatima. She's passed the bar that Fatima has to pass. She has been an associate that Fatima hasn't actually become one. She is a managing partner. And I don't even know if that's something that Fatima aspires to be or if she chooses to have, her own law firm. I don't know yet. And I believe that Andy was a pretty great student while she was in law school. Fatima ain't that either. So I'm trying to understand, like I said, is jealousy actually in the room with us? It amazes me that anytime someone may oppose what Fatima thinks or may call her out on certain actions, that jealousy is what people attach to what the other person is doing. I don't believe that Andy is jealous of Fatima in the least bit. Now, I will go on record and say this, which I have been saying for years. I have been making this statement for years. And I remember y'all screen names. A screen name, baby, your girl Allie, don't forget. I remember how many people came at me when I was saying that Andy is not a true friend to Fatima. And if truth be told, a lot of y'all only wanted Fatima and Andy to be friends because you knew that Karen would have a problem with it. A lot of y'all only want Fatima and Danny to be friends because you figured Karen would have a problem with it. Not because you actually want to see these people be friends. Andy, from the very beginning of Sistas, I used to always harp on the fact of how she talked to Fatima. And I could not understand, why does Andy talk to this woman like she is the dirt on the bottom of her shoe? She used to talk to Fatima as if she was absolutely nothing. And that only began to change in season 2 when Fatima went into Andy's office and hid certain paperwork from her desk and her computer when her belongings was getting seized from the FBI. That is when Andy began to change how she viewed Fatima, basically because Fatima did something for her. When Andy understood that Fatima somewhat was about that life, she acted as if she was fearful and scared of Fatima. So anything that Fatima did, anything that Fatima wanted, Andy was down for it. And I'm going to say this too. It amazes me how a lot of people didn't have an issue when Andy promised Fatima that she would not tell Karen about that picture that was floating around Atlanta that ended up having Zach act a complete ass while Karen was out with Aaron. And Andy told Karen that I didn't tell you because I did not want to betray Fatima. You didn't want to betray your oldest friend who has been there for you since college for a woman who you have known maybe a year. Yeah, somebody that didn't sound right. But there was a whole fandom. Well, Karen can't control who Andy be friends with. Karen just mad that Andy and Fatima are good friends. Oh, I remember all that foolishness. Now, oh, baby, how the tables have turned. So now that Andy is actually acting as if she is Fatima's supervisor, now it's a problem. But let's break this thing down here. I honestly believe there needs to be a line in the sand drawn when it comes to Andy and Fatima being professionals, when it comes to Fatima actually being Andy's subordinate. A lot of people believe they understand what a paralegal is, and when I read the comments, clearly you don't know. Okay? Clearly, there's some miscommunication and misinformation. When it comes to Fatima, Andy was aware of the one player whose contract Fatima was looking over. Fatima can look over, baby, you're not giving advice. You're looking over, and even if you pose a problem, foresee a problem, you communicate that with the lawyer whose supervision you are under, and then they direct you on what to do next. The fact that that player told Fatima that I'm going to refer, my homies to you or my teammates to you, that's perfectly fine. You can refer them to me. However, Andy Barnes is going to be the lawyer that's looking over their contracts. Now, I will say that Fatima has made it very clear that she was not a lawyer. However, she was acting like she was one. You do not have the power nor the authority to take on new clients. You are not the first eyes to look over a contract. And like I have stated, Steph Curry, LeBron James, Travis Hunter, Shedeur Sanders, Shiloh Sanders would not entrust their multi-million-dollar contract with a paralegal. I don't care how lucrative that law firm is. And that is exactly what the writers have written for Fatima to do. That's not how that works. When Andy came in, honestly, what Andy said was very, very mild, because I feel she could have really went there, but she didn't. Yeah, that's... Nah, I ain't gonna lie. I laughed. Yeah, it's good practice when you actually pass the bar. And people was like, oh, she ain't had no business saying that. Oh, why she had to throw that little shade? Oh, we forgot that that's what Andy does. Andy throws hella shade to everybody in her circle. That's what she does. Oh, y'all thought Fatima was exempt? I told y'all, Andy is not a good friend. Listen, we're just now seeing her be a good friend to Karen after all these years. Okay? Andy is not as I stated, I remember the screen names, and I remember how many people were rooting for Fatima and Andy to become friends. Not because they really wanted it, but it was because it would be something that would drive Karen crazy. It would cause issues with Karen and how she viewed her. Oh, Karen is jealous of Andy and Fatima's friendship and so on and so forth. Now that word jealousy is being used to describe Andy as it pertains to Fatima in the professional realm. That is laughable. That is laughable. And in the words of my good friend, Erica Vane, let's be for real. Okay? Let's be for real. Jealous of what? Jealous of what? Yes, Fatima felt that little cold shoulder. She should have. Okay, she should have, because just what? Let's just say 3 weeks in Sistas time, you just walking up in this law firm with Andy and dressed in all black with a baseball bat in your hands. Because you believe, oh, this my good sis, I got her back. When has Andy had Fatima back? I'll wait. And I'm not talking about going to court for Michael or defending her. Andy was doing her job. It didn't help. It didn't hurt that Andy knew Fatima personally, but everything that Andy has done when it comes to Fatima has always been in the realm of law. But to me, when it comes to being a true friend and what sisterhood and friendship looks like, Andy, in my personal opinion, has never presented that to Fatima. Fatima just happened to be a casualty of war. You just happened to be the chick that my homegirl ex-man was digging out. And that's what it was. And they used this thing with Andy to push this relationship. Oh, I've never seen. Oh, oh, Zach is a really good dude. I must say, I've never seen him like this before. Girl, yes, you have. I got so many clips of Andy telling Fatima, oh, that story sounds very familiar. Oh, he did the same thing to Karen. Oh, he said the same thing to Karen. Oh, Karen said the same thing as how Zach made her body feel. Girl, baby, I got receipts for days. But I think it's just hilarious how jealousy is being used to describe Andy's emotional state when it comes to Fatima. No, because Andy understands I am not only an associate now, I am a partner. And my paralegal is taking on things that I have not approved. So if anything was to happen, if there happened to be something that Fatima overlooked, or there happened to be erroneous information that Fatima has given to one of these players, guess who will be held accountable for that? Not Fatima, Andy Barnes. Partner, Andy Barnes. So that's all I'm saying. I enjoyed the moment. I really did. I love that Andy checked Fatima. I love that Andy stood on business and didn't, back down. Now, why Andy lied? She a liar. I mean, who cares? I saw people saying, oh, Andy never lies to Fatima. Why she didn't tell her the truth? One, because she don't have to tell Fatima her business. That's number one. Two, Andy is a liar, and Andy always has dick on the brain. I'm like, girl, you just got kidnapped. You just had a gun in your face. You just saw someone get killed in front of you, and you out here chasing penis. Andy gonna always Andy. Believe that. And I'm gonna tell you straight up, when it comes to Andy, and baby, who she really gonna ride for at the end of the day, it's gonna be Danny, it's gonna be Karen, and it's gonna be Sabrina. And Fatima gonna be way, way, way on down there. Because the only reason that Andy has been connected with Fatima, has said certain things to Fatima, is because Fatima first showed her what she was capable of doing, and Andy liked that. Because Andy enjoyed people who can do things for her. Andy enjoyed people who can make her feel better about her life and the things that she lacks. And that's just Andy, and she has always and will forever be Andy. And that's all I got to say on the matter. I'm going to read y'all little comments. I'm looking forward to it because I know it's some pissed off people, and there's some people who definitely agree with me. I'm looking forward to reading everything. But I just want to thank you guys for listening. Until next time, I will holler at y'all later, and y'all be safe out there. Bye.